Hey guys, a lot of you really enjoyed my effective health video, so I figured to make another one in a similar style, but this time about attack speed. Now, attack speed works differently to what a lot of people think. It's not quite the same as it is in a lot of games. And with the new item coming, I feel like this is knowledge a lot of people really have to have. I hope this helps you understand attack speed a little bit more, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Hey guys, I just wanted to quickly say that over 44% of the people that watch my videos still aren't subscribed, so please hit that subscribe button if you like the content. It helps me more than you know, and I'm incredibly appreciative. I also wanted to mention that the spreadsheet used in this video is again from the Unite Math Cord, and I will have their link in the description so you can use it yourself. Guys, so today I'm going to go over attack speed in Pokemon Unite and how it works. It's pretty complicated. It should be a lot simpler, honestly. In most games, if you have 10% increased attack speed, you just have 10% increased attack speed. But in Pokemon Unite, it's a little different. It almost works in levels. If your attack speed increase isn't enough to break you through the threshold to the next level of attack speed, you won't actually get any more attack speed. So it's a bit interesting. But with the new item coming, a lot more Pokemon will be able to reach new levels of attack speed, which is really, really cool, and it's going to be quite game-changing. So I wanted to go over attack speed before that comes, so we can really dive into this a little better, and you can understand the math behind it and the stats behind it. So if we look at, say, a Pokemon like, let's jump to Cinderace. Let's go through the table of contents here. Let's go through to Cinderace. Cinderace at the moment, with no buffs on whatsoever, has 28 frames with base attack speed and 28 with muscle. So at 15, you're not actually getting any benefit with muscle, but with muscle and 7 reds, you're getting a little more. It's not enough to warrant the change because only at 15, you can see here level by level, right? For an example, muscle actually helps you get online a bit quicker, I believe, around here, around 6. But you're not really running muscle for the attack speed on Cinderace. You're running it for the passive, the extra damage. Now, an interesting thing is when you throw on Blaze Kick, you actually get a bigger benefit from muscle and reds. I don't think I knew this. I don't think I knew Cinderace worked this way. I thought Cinderace had a bit more of a a bit more of an impact from muscle, but hey, I'm learning as we go. This is again a sheet used from Math Core, just like in the last video, this with the EHP. But with the new items coming, it's going to be really, really cool because a lot of people looked at my little clip of Cinderace and said, oh, it's the same attack speed, but I assure you that it is not. If you look at Cinderace at the moment, if you were to have muscles and reds and you would have Blaze Kick on, what if you were to throw on, say, like, X Attack? What if you were to throw on, say, a Blissey Helping Hand? You can see that it shoots it up when you have more buffs, and the new item gives you a lot. It gives you 30% attack speed plus the flat, I think it's 9 or something, or 10. It's a lot. We're not capped on attack speed. They're going to be hitting faster. And that's really cool to see. Now, reds are not that valuable because, as I said here, it gives you what, like a little bit more at 15. I still wouldn't really use reds on Cinderace, but with the new items, they may become a lot more valuable. So if I look at something like a good example is, say, Garchomp. Where is Garchomp? So Chompy. That's Duraludon. Duraludon's a good example too. Let's go through Duraludon. Duraludon, for example, here with Muscle Band. This is a really good example, actually. Duraludon is a really, really good example. So here, with Muscle Band, your attack speed is changed a little. You come online a little sooner, but it's essentially the same towards the end of the game. With 3 reds, it's increased. You get to 32 frames instead of 36 from 11 all the way to 15. Now, it doesn't ever get better than that, though. It never gets better. It always stays that same amount. So 3 reds are really good on Duraludon, but 7 is not. But what if Duraludon is to get a helping hand from Blissey? Then it shoots up and it gets these a level soon if you get 7, but you'd still probably stick to 3. But this is essentially like you're going to be getting even more attack speed from the new items. And it's really amazing. And the reason we're able to do that is because we're hitting new thresholds. So you can see here, even though this should be way more attack speed, getting all 7, it doesn't hit the next threshold, so it stays the same amount. I hope this is coming across well. I know I'm not the greatest explainer of all time, but I hope this is explaining it pretty well. So let's go to Garchomp like we intended to. So Garchomp here. Garchomp is one where it's like, you just don't run reds on Garchomp. Muscle Band here, you can see, so Garchomp's attack speed at level 10 changes to here, and you wouldn't get this until 13 without Muscle Band. That's a really big deal. Having 44 frames at 10 instead of 13 is a massive deal on Garchomp. Muscle Band is a must pick up essentially on this Pokemon, especially with the passive, because you are basic attacking a lot. Then you go over here and it's like, okay, with 7 reds, you can get the level 15 attack speed at 12. And it's like, okay, that's 3 levels as well, but that's a big investment when you could be running something like health or attack to probably get more out of it. But with the new items, this could look better. Example, if you get a Blissey Helping Hand, everything goes up across the board, and that could be really cool to see with the new items. I'm using Helping Hand just an example to fill a new item. Even the new item is even more attack speed than Helping Hand gives, so it's really, really cool. And I'm really excited to see how this is implemented into builds. I really want to have fun with this. Let's look at more Pokemon. I see something you would never run reds on is Mew. Mew is like, even though it gets more attack speed, Mew's basic attacks are atrocious. They are atrocious. The boosted is nuts, but the basic ones are honestly just atrocious. And something like Mamoswine, I believe, benefits from reds too. Which again, would you do that? I don't know. I was messing around in the PTS with like this like 80 carry Mamoswine build. Where is Memo? Where is the Memo? It's on here somewhere. My eyes don't work. It's probably grouped in with other ones. There we go. Blastoise, Memo, and Mime. So you see, Memo benefits from reds. It does actually get a quite decent increase. Like if you're level 3 with 7 reds and Muscle Band, you get the attack speed of if you were level 14 without either of them, right? So it gets a very big, it's a very big deal on Mamoswine. But again, Mamoswine tends to build into other items a little more. Now, this is solid. I have run this, and it feels pretty decent. And with the new attack speed items, you're getting a lot of freezes off, and it's pretty cool. Let's look at Alolan Ninetales, for example. Alolan Ninetales, where is A9 grouped into? Right here. So A9 here, what's cool about this Pokemon is it has Aurora Veil, which boosts its attack speed, right? So right now, you can see that with Muscle, it's 48. Reds are good on Alolan Ninetales right now. This is a good thing right here. Having the 44 there is really, really good. Now, this is probably just as decent if you're going to get 15, but 12 and 13 are more realistic levels than 14 in a game, especially if it's not going too well. So this is where this becomes valuable. And then if you look at Aurora Veil being on, you can see that you actually get 40 at 11 instead of having to wait all the way to 15 if you were not running reds. So reds are really good on A9, and A9 with the new item the way it is, if it goes untouched, is actually just a little bit silly because A9 currently gets 10 boosted basic attacks off in its Aurora Veil at level 6. Now, I don't know if that's how the item's going to go into the game. It's going to translate that way, but that's really, really strong, and A9 might be a little scary for some to deal with that coming into the game. Now, of course, there are Pokemon like Charizard that attack speed doesn't actually affect at all. Rip Charizard. It's kind of sad that, like, you know, the Charizard emblem line doesn't touch Charizard. They didn't do anything for it. Attack speed doesn't affect Charizard's basics at all, which is really, really weird. But let's look at Pokemon like Decidueye and Greninja, right? Decidueye with Razor Leaf. Now, Decidueye normally with Muscle Band, 28 frames on at 15. With 7 reds, it's exactly the same. You're getting things a little sooner, but they're not quite... It's not quite enough to warrant running reds on Decidueye. Now, when you go into Razor Leaf and get the attack speed increase, you can see that it's around the same. Now, this Razor Leaf increase is more than the reds would give you at all. Now, if we look into getting, say, a Helping Hand on top of that, we can see we actually go into the next threshold on this one, but not on this one. Now, it's still not worth it. It's still not worth it at all. But it's as I said, it's the thresholds. This is what I'm trying to explain. So that didn't bring this into the next threshold at all. That little attack speed increase, it fixed these ones up. These ones got a little more, but this threshold remained the same because we didn't hit that next threshold. And that's what's really weird about attack speed in Unite. It's a lot more interesting than it seems. It's kind of frustrating that it's the way that it is. Decky, obviously, when you have your boosters up, it's a bit different. And yeah, it's only one level sooner to have reds, so it's not worth having Muscle and reds. Now, Muscle, as you guys can see, the attack speed is good. You get earlier levels for one item is very, very good, plus the passive of Muscle is very, very strong. Now, if we throw that on with the new item and the extra increase, it's just so nice. It's more than this, you know, and it's a drastic increase, and I've had so much fun messing with it on the PTS. I don't know if it's going to come, like, you know, the way that it is live, but it's really, really, really cool. And let's look at a couple other Pokemon, just so you guys can get a better idea of how this really, really works. A good idea here is, say, something like, let's look at Venusaur. Or Serena, actually. Serena is a good one to look at, because this is actually interesting. Serena is a Pokemon here that gets a lot of benefit out of Reds and Muscle when you have the Triple Axle buff active. Now, without it, a little bit less worth it. But again, Serena with Reds is pretty good. Now, Serena, if it had Triple Axle active and had a Helping Hand from Blissey, even better. If it gets another boost from the new item, so much attack speed. I don't know if it will be the way to go, but what I'm excited to see is, will we actually finally have versatility of builds with the new item coming because of how attack speed works? Are we going to see Pokemon want to slot in attack speed over the damage item to get more out of, say, their passive like Serena, to get more damage over time like Cinderace? Are we going to see that coming into play? And I'm excited to see it. I hope this helped you guys understand how attack speed works a little more. To sum it up really quickly before I go, it's essentially there are thresholds of attack speed, there are levels, and if you don't hit the next one, you don't get more attack speed, but if you do, you do. So if you get 10% increase, but you don't hit the next threshold, it stays the same. But if it does, it's a big increase. And that's kind of how attack speed works in the game. It's why you'll see at some levels you don't have a boost and some levels you do. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. I hope I explained it decently well. I am a player, not a mathematician, so this is the best that I can really do for you guys. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day. If you enjoyed this style of video, check out my EHP guide over here.